What's up? What's up? What's up? Happy Friday. Welcome to a new episode of Unspoken Truth Podcast. I'm your host, Tanise. What's up? Welcome back. I finally figured out how to be able to get on all my platforms at the same time. It's been a while, but I'm here. Um, I hope everybody had a chance to check out the little snippet of my new theme song for my podcast. Um, Keep supporting me, man. I made that song myself. No, it's not me singing, but I definitely put the song together. Okay, so shout out to me for that. All right. So it's Friday. Today's topic is over promising and under delivering. Oh boy. This is a pet peeve of mine. I ain't lying. This kind of stuff drive me crazy. I ain't gonna lie. So I'm really anxious and curious to see who tap in, chime in, got something to say about the topic at hand. But this right here, this drive me up the wall. This would be a reason why I cut you off. I ain't gonna. We go get straight to the point. You get cut off making these type of moves around me. I ain't lying. So what do I mean when I say over promising and under delivering? Okay, that's the person that's always I got you, and then when it's time for them to have you or, or look out for you or do whatever it is that they claim they was gonna do, they know where to be found. They done stop answering their phone. They done start responding to text messages. They ain't pulling up like they was. It's just a whole 360 change. Okay, that's what I mean by over promising. Okay. Under delivering is just what I said. Hey, you already done promised. Now, in my world, that's all somebody got is their word. Okay. Man, woman, or okay, child. Your word. That's it. There is nothing else really that could convince a person to deal or not deal outside of whatever comes out of these two right here. Okay, let's make that clear from the start. You're not about to sit here and play no games with it. This is adult conversations over here. Okay, so the reason why this is a pet peeve for me because a lot of times most of the people who actually operate like this, they do a whole bunch of offering. Ain't nobody asked them to do nothing. Didn't nobody call and request for them to do nothing. They do a whole bunch of I'ma do on their own out of nowhere. And for the life of me, I don't understand it. It makes no sense to me why you move, operate, whatever like that. Cause it's like clearly you could have just shut up. Nobody, you didn't have to offer, speak, be heard, seen, nothing in a scenario where you, you wasn't necessary. You inserting yourself where it don't belong most times. I'm not saying every scenario is like this. I'm just simply saying most times. That's and I don't be understanding it. It's like, well, why? You could have just left me alone. You could have just let me chill. You could have. I ain't really need the disturbance. You feel me? I didn't need it. I didn't ask you to show up and disrupt or none of that. But we can go ahead and start to break down why I believe most people operate like that because he is deeper than them telling you something and not following through, in my opinion. I believe that is much deeper than that. It's the ciphering of your energy. It's the unlimited access. It's the ability for them to be able to show up when they want to and not necessarily when you need them to. That type of energy. Okay. I believe feeds it. And this is why they walk around here swole. You feel me with I use the word audacity to treat people in such a way that they have been enabled to do so around others. So in their mind, it's like, oh, this is, I could do this with anybody. Okay. I believe that a lot of people who operate in that manner, for sure, have stuck around people who won't even say nothing to them about how they moving or the things that they doing or the stuff that they say, and they have no, they wasn't gonna follow through in the first place. So it really was. It's almost like it's a tension um, thing, where it's like I have to say something so somebody will pay me some attention, so somebody else look at me, so somebody hear me, or so, to me. It's just how it comes across to me. Now, this may not be everybody's, you know, history or dealings with respect to the topic, but in my experience with several people, um, past and present, maybe, I feel like it's a attention seeking thing. Some people, when it come to attention, they'll stop at nothing. It doesn't matter as long as they getting it, and it don't have to be positive. It can very well be negative. It can very well be dysfunctional. It could very well be a lot of things. But as long as I'm getting that, as long as those needs are being met, I don't really care what happens or how I gotta go about it. Those type of people is dangerous to me, and they scare me. I ain't gonna sit here and cap to you like, yeah, no, they scare me. I'm a little nervous around them, for real. Because you only really relevant in somebody else's story when they either make you relevant or when you try to make yourself relevant. Let me repeat that. You only ever relevant in somebody else's story when they make you relevant or when you try to make yourself relevant. I know that's harsh. That's a harsh pill to swallow. I understand, but yeah. I'm not here to kiss your boo boos and put band aids on them. We don't have adult, hard, transparent conversations over here. I feel like most people overpromise and underdeliver just because perhaps maybe that's what somebody has done to them. I believe that whatever you don't address or whatever you allow to continue to go down at the hands of somebody else to you, if you don't do something about it, finally set some boundaries and grow from that, that you're gonna become that person too. You're gonna start doing that same stuff to other people that was being done to you. Because unfortunately, the stuff that we dismiss and ignore usually turn us into things that we don't want to be. Okay. Um, hey, do your own homework, take what resonates, whatever. I'm not here to debate. Okay. Um, the over delivering part, it be wild because it'd be like, well, what was the purpose? Are you even saying anything? Of you even having a voice about it, what's going on? Like, what was the purpose? And you knew that you wasn't gonna follow through. Maybe I was really depending on you showing up for me. Somewhere in my mind, I thought, okay, finally they gonna do what they said they was gonna do. Silly me, okay? Because I'm one of them people, I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt until I can't. And I know that that's probably more than a lot of people would be willing to do, but I'm just telling you, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt until I just can't deal with you at all. And sometimes that is short lived and sometimes it's not. I mean, I'm still a work in progress. But when I started this episode out with saying that moving like that, having those type of characteristic traits in my world, you got to get away from me quick, fast, and in a hurry. Okay, for real. Like you got to go. You got to roll. I can't. No, ma'am. No, sir. I can't. And part of that probably comes from me not really being able to depend on people. Um, and so that made me overly independent. Okay. That is something that I am working through and working on currently. Cause I recognize it now. I'm like, dang, you didn't got so comfortable with doing everything for yourself that it's hard for you to let somebody help you. And I want to say my kids probably pointed that out to me. Like, Mom, you got a problem asking for help. And I acknowledge that. I take full responsibility for allowing the things that people didn't do for me or show up for me dictate me even allowing anybody else to. So I own that. Yeah. Um, like I said, I'm a work in progress. Okay. Um, it. I sat and thought about this for a second before I got on here. Like, why does this irritate you so much? And like, what makes this a pet peeve for you? Because it is. It's a who grind my gears type of thing with this conversation right here. And it's probably because I know that I've overplayed my part. I've extended my neck. I've stretched it to capacity. I've overdone things for people. And maybe that's why this grinds my gears. Maybe that's why it's a pet peeve. Maybe it's why it'll get you cut off, fired quick. Cause I can't get with it. It's hard for me to and I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to be learning from that. In time, maybe that'll be revealed to me and I can start operating and adjust. You know, we talked about that on the last episode. Adjust, pivot. Um, yeah, stop. You stop. If you the person who over promising and under delivering, stop doing it. If you really don't have the capacity or the desire to do whatever it is that need to be done for whoever it is that you keep over promising and under delivering to, just don't say nothing at all. Because I want you to know that sometimes your presence is enough. And if the person who don't appreciate that, if that's all you got to offer at the time, then you probably need to reevaluate some things. Because sometimes people is the casualty of their own circumstances that they created for themselves. So then here you come trying to overplay your part and overpromise and underdeliver. Now you then inserted yourself somewhere you don't belong. Now you a part of some type of karma or some type of repercussions or consequences that ain't got nothing to do with you. That's the flip of the coin of it all. Sometimes you don't need to offer nothing. Sometimes you just need to be quiet. You probably don't need to help nobody. You probably should be helping yourself. And we not just gonna talk about how people overpromise and underdeliver to other people. We also gotta acknowledge and have accountability for how we do it to ourselves. Yep. We tell ourselves, yes, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that, and it's gonna be done by such and such time, and blah blah blah. And I'm gonna reach out and I'm gonna connect and network with so and so, and we gonna collab and we gonna do. And you have not done any of it. So don't think that this is just a behavior that we do amongst each other. No, we do it to ourselves all the time. All the time. At the end of the day, the most important thing of it all is, in what way are you not showing up for yourself? Because here's the thing, whatever you not doing for you, it's gonna be hard for you to do it for somebody else. It, whether that's you having accountability or lacking it, when they come to somebody else, you ain't gonna be able to. You're not. You're not gonna be able to have accountability because you won't have it for yourself for the things that you know for a fact that you did. So when somebody else come point something out, you ain't gonna be able to handle that because you're not having accountability with yourself. That's just a example. Setting goals for yourself and not even attempting. No shade. I'm doing it currently. It's a lot of things I feel like I should be doing that I'm not doing. Only person who could change that narrative is me. Because in the end, I'm busy telling myself what I'm gonna do and not do, and understand that that's still being put out in the universe. You still manifesting it, even if you're not working towards it. It's still being put in the atmosphere. And then we'll be looking crazy when it starts to come to fruition, and we ain't ready because we didn't just said some stuff, and we clearly ain't there enough to even catch it when it come, or even acknowledge it when it get there, because we did too much over promising and under delivering to ourselves. So how was it ever gonna work? It wasn't. It was never going to work because you gave up before you could get started. Yeah, I don't, it's hard for you to be able to show up for other people and you haven't shown up for yourself. And if you doing that, stop. You draining yourself. This is why you walking around feeling tired and depleted, low vibrational. You feel like your energy is off, cause it is. Stop making other people your project when or your assignment when your project and your assignment is yourself. Now, I'm not saying forget about your kids. I'm not saying that. Forget about your parents. I'm not saying that. But I'm telling you, you ain't no good to none of them if you not right. If you haven't figured and got yourself together, And wouldn't it be better for you to be able to show up in the way that they need you to versus you just I'm just there. I'm not, I'm not telling nobody what to do. I'm just simply saying like, hey, at some point you're gonna have to move. You're gonna have to make stuff happen. You're gonna have to standing still feel like being stuck in quicksand. Stagnation. John, welcome. Um, it all starts with you. So now, if you making certain acknowledgments within yourself about who you are first before you start analyzing anybody else, because you can't even, honestly, you can't even be mad at somebody who overpromise and underdeliver if that's what you doing. You gonna get a turn too. That's why I said if that's who you are and that's what you doing and that's how you move and stop. Because you causing a boomerang effect. Whatever you dish out, that's what's coming back. I know some people don't want to hear that, but the truth is the truth. Okay. Um, you gotta make necessary changes first before you gonna start attracting people who are either doing the same or actually been doing it, making the necessary adjustments and changes and having accountability and awareness about the things that they once might have done versus the things they choosing to do now. You understand that you're gonna keep attracting who you are, not who you want to be, not who you wish you was, not who somebody told you. No, you're going to attract those people who are just like you. That's why you'll hear people say, like, I just keep getting this, I feeling like I'm going through the same lesson, just different people. That's why. Because you haven't made no changes and adjustments or learn how to pivot within yourself for you to attract different people. No, you just gonna keep on attracting who you are. You don't like it, then change yourself. So then you can attract different people. Then you don't have to worry about being amongst that type of company or having to really like be standoffish with people because you not even around those caliber people no more because you didn't change your caliber. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Changing your caliber, elevating, growing, adjusting. Yes, you gonna have to. In order for you to avoid being an overpromiser and an underdeliverer, yep, you better. Because outside of that, you just gonna fall in line. You hang around 9 of them, you gonna be 10. That's just the way it is. I have a hard time hearing people say they don't like the way they life going, but they don't realize that they can change it. They can do something different, and it won't be going the way it's going. But sitting here talking about you not liking it, but not being prepared to come up with a plan and be able to execute is beyond me. Because wherever you at in life and whatever is going on with you, it is the result of your decision making. It is the result of your choices. You where you at based off of those two things. Period. So if that is financial hardship, if that is attitude, if that is job, whatever, you where you at because of the decision and choices that you made. That's it. Ain't no, oh, it was my parents, oh, my baby daddies. Nope. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but you responsible. No, it's literally you. And the sooner that you have some type of acceptance with that, then the easier and better off life gonna start to be for you, but not before that. And I say that with all the love in the world because boy oh boy, everything that I be saying when we be having these conversations be like reliving certain things in my past. And so it's like I know. I'm not just telling you because it sounds good or because I want to have something to say. No, I'm saying it because I lived it. And um it's a harsh reality when you start to realize that you really didn't even have to do as much as you did for certain people. I've been frustrated with life at a point where I was like, some people that I actually looked out for, I should have starved. And that may go over some people's head, but I'm just saying, like when you sit back and you look at connections after they over with or expired or whatever took place as to why it's not what it was, some of the people you knew from the beginning. You knew that they wasn't worth the time. You knew that you shouldn't have been doing all the stuff you was doing, and because they wasn't gonna reciprocate, you know. And because you had a big heart, because I got a big heart, you was like, I'm gonna do it anyway. Out the kindness of my heart. Do you know how many people feed off of this, that alone? Oh, I know that they gonna do it out the kindness of their heart, if nothing else. Just vultures. They only around because, hey, I can get something, and they ain't gonna really have too much to say. Even if all it is my energy or my advice or some resources. Mm-hmm. I'll tell y'all that it's such thing as energy vultures. Yep. They show up out of nowhere. They cipher all your energy, resources, vibrations, and then they gone off to the next person. Now they starting all over again. They doing the same stuff, just a different person. And this is how they thrive. And that's how they eat. Mm-hmm. If you ever been around certain people and after they leave, you be feeling like just, ugh. That's why. 'Cause they done showed up, ciphered your stuff, and now they gone. Now you feel drained, depleted, tired, exhausted. And they done showed up and got what they needed for them. 'Cause they was feeling like that too before they showed up. That's the crazy part. Like they was feeling how they left you feeling before they showed up and ciphered your shit. You gotta pay attention. You gotta use more than just your two eyes. You know, I talked about this in previous episodes about people and their patterns. All you gotta do is just watch. That's all you gotta do is just watch. You don't really gotta say nothing. You ain't gotta do nothing. All you gotta do is watch. Person gonna show you exactly who they is, what they into, and what they about. Trust me, it won't be long. Cause it's hard for somebody to keep a circus going without somebody seeing something. The mask coming off, the makeup going on, whatever it is. Somebody is bound to see something the longer it goes on, right? So all you gotta do is just sit back and let people be themselves, for real. Not who you picture them being, not who you then romanticize them as. No, just let people be who they are. They'll show you, and then you can learn how to avoid connecting yourself to people who was never gonna be there and show up for you in the first place. Cause that's where I'm at in life right now, currently. Like, hey, there's no reason for me to. All I had to do was chill. And just continue to do what I need to do for me to cleanse my space and my aura, for me to attract the things that's for me, the people that's for me, the connections that's for me, the collabs that ain't even happened yet. Yeah, I'd rather focus on that. Because the bottom line is the more you work on yourself and focus on you and fix what need to be done within you, the less time you got to worry about anybody else and what's going on with them and how they living and who they with and what they got going on. You don't have time. You by the time you done going through all emotions within yourself that needs to be set through, worked through, healed from, grow from, elevated from. You should be tired. That's a hell of a assignment. You you know you a mess. You know you a mess by yourself. So if you just take the time to work on you, you ain't got time to worry about nobody who ain't about to do nothing they said they was gonna do anyway. That way you could eliminate them. Just let them fall off by themselves. Because by the time you done doing what's necessary for you to grow, for you to elevate, for you to heal, for you to possess certain things in that toolbox that you're gonna need in life, you then rose above. You on a higher frequency or level than them, so you can't even. There's no comparison. You can't even match the energy. You not even interested in doing so. So now you don't even really worry about them over promising and under delivering because you're not gonna be around them in the first place. You're not. For what? I've always been told if you in a room full of people and you the one who got all the advice, you the one who everybody come to, you in the wrong room. I'm not saying that your position does not exist or don't matter. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you need to be in a room full of people that you can learn from. If everybody learning from you, you in the wrong room. Period. I stand on that. I don't want to be in rooms with people that's on the same level as me. I don't want to be in a room with people who below me. I want to be in a room with people that I can actually get something from and give something to. It's a reciprocation. It's really not difficult. Once you get around the right people, once you get in the right environments, once you start elevating your value, your worth, you Next thing you know, you ain't thought about it no more. Yeah, it happened. You got what you needed to get from it. All right, next. And it helps you stay away from becoming that. Because you acknowledge, hey, people done it to me, so I know it exists. It's not just something somebody told me about. I actually experienced it. Somebody told me they was gonna do something and they didn't. I said already, I've become overly independent because I couldn't depend on nobody. I know I'm not the only one. Does that hurt or help me in my growth? It absolutely stunts it. Because now I'm in a season of, okay, I'm ready to settle down at some point and find my person, or my person find me, or however you want to say it. But if I don't learn how to let go of some of the independence and allow somebody to help me, be there for me, show up for me, it's going to be hard for somebody to love me. I know that. So this is why these conversations are important, man, for you to have. Like as a single person first, before you go jumping in another relationship. Cause some of us, that's our pattern. When one thing don't work out, then we go find somebody else to deal with that don't really know parts of us that they should. Because we ain't being vulnerable with them. We too busy trying to escape the feelings that we have for the person that we left. And we think by being with somebody else that makes the feelings go away. Nope. Start getting real with yourself. I'm gonna keep saying that, man. The next promise you make to yourself, and I'm talking to myself when I say this, and not and y'all, keep it. Follow through with it. You know what it feel like to be let down and disappointed from other people. Don't let yourself down. Don't disappoint yourself. Why? You deserve to be showed up for. You deserve to be heard. You deserve to be seen. But you have to do those things for yourself first. Overpromising and under delivering is not just something we do to each other as human beings. It's also a self sabotaging technique that some of us have mastered. And I'm telling you, that's not a good thing for you to master, okay? Especially with respect to yourself. Like, what you doing? Sabotaging is never beneficial to you or anybody that you trying to sabotage. No. So it's one step at a time. I'm always here for y'all, and I'm gonna keep saying that I'm not better than nobody. I am y'all. Some of the things that I clearly be vulnerable and transparent about, I know that I'm not the only one. I'm just probably the only one that's bold enough at the time to speak on it. But I said all of those things to stay. Stop letting people play in your face with over promising and under delivering. Just you got to let you in control of who is in your environment, the temperature of your environment, what goes on in your environment. You, not nobody else. So if that's not something you into, if that's not your cup of tea, if that ain't somebody you want to have around, get rid of them. Do something different. Change it up. It's okay for you to change up a few things, people and places around you. That's absolutely fine. It's okay. But in order for infection to not spread, you're going to have to remove it because it's going to attach itself to whatever it can. If you don't want it to be your growth, you better cut it out quick. You better remove it because eventually it's going to take over. And whatever you was trying to create or had going for you will no longer exist at the hands of an infection that shouldn't even be present in the first place. And if you just don't have the capacity, once again, to show up for somebody other than yourself, that's fine. Stop inserting yourself in places where you don't belong. Can't nobody be mad at you. The only reason they upset with you is because you keep over promising and under delivering. Just keep it to yourself. Whatever you was thinking about saying or sharing, or just don't say nothing at all. And that's okay. Jessica, welcome. And I mean, it's okay. It's absolutely fine. Yeah, it's absolutely fine. But you control the narrative as far as people being around you that don't fit where you need them to in your world, and vice versa. Stop overplaying your part. If they ain't appreciated the last time you did something for them, this time ain't gonna be no different. The only reason why they asked you to do it again because you didn't say nothing about them not even saying thank you or that they appreciate you or no acknowledgement. So that's where we go about this, ciphering your energy and showing up just because they know that they can. Unlimited access to you. No, you got to control that. Hey, hold on. I know the last time you thought shit was sweet around here. You know, that shit ain't sit right with me. And if I can't tell you what you do and we friends or associates or whatever, yeah, you can't be around me for too long. Because I ought to be able to share with you how I'm feeling based off of what you're doing. And vice versa. Yeah, I may not like what you got to say, but so what? I still owe you the opportunity to say it. And you still owe me the opportunity for me to say it. Now, what we do after we say it, that's, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. You stop playing in people's face, stop letting people play in your face. Don't offer me nothing. Don't ask me for nothing that I can't ask you for. Oh, that'll eliminate how many people try you right there. Start asking people for what they ask you for and see what their response is. See if you don't be blown away. Because it ain't going to be the same response that you give them. Not every time, not every person. No. You going to start to see a person for who they really is based off their response. You're going to be like, well, damn, when you asked me that one time to do whatever for you, you didn't hear me complain. You ain't hear me hesitate, nothing. Well, now it's my turn to ask you for a favor, and I get this stale, hesitant, stuck, stagnant energy. Like, damn. Try it. See what happens. Try it. I'm telling you, man. Some people are so predictable. It make me nauseous for real. Cause I be like, so you thought nobody seen? Okay, all right, like for real. You thought didn't nobody see what you did the last time in the last situation? So you expecting me to look at you differently in this situation than I did in that situation? No. Mm-mm. Now you fuck around, and let a snake bite you more than once. See if you alive to talk about it. I'm just saying. Something is definitely gonna be dormant and dead up in you after you get bit more than once by a snake. Spiritually, physically. Something gonna be a little off afterwards, okay? Um, I don't know who needed what from this conversation, but boy, hey man, I enjoy talking to y'all. Like I said, I done finally figured out how to be on all of my platforms at the same time. It's been a while, like a couple of months since I've been able to do it. Unfortunately, I broke my second phone, so um, but I will make sure to keep the rhythm that we had going, keep it going, okay? Um, it's Friday, it's the weekend. There's a lot going on, at least in my city. Um, Fairs, festivals, things of that nature, home days. If you never heard of it, Google it. Y'all be careful. But more importantly, spend some time with your family, with your kids, with the people that you love. Um, so much going on, so much loss, at least around me. Uh, Life is extremely short, although feels like the longest time. Okay? Do something good for somebody else, but most importantly for yourself. Take some time out to love on yourself and love on the people that you love. Tomorrow is not promised for any of us. Every day above ground is a win. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all for, sticking with me this far. And I will be dropping a visual to go with my new theme song for my podcast. So y'all look for that. And some really dope guests coming up. Can't wait to, yeah, hit y'all with that. But yeah, I've got some really good things coming up. Um, y'all just hang in there with me, okay? I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I absolutely look forward to every conversation that we get a chance to have. I will see y'all back here on Tuesday at 11 a.m. for a new mini episode of Unspoken Truth Podcast. Until then, I'm your host, Denise. Peace.